1. Have you ever wondered why you were born into this exact life, with these people, in this time, under these circumstances? Why you meet certain souls, face certain trials, and feel an invisible pull toward some paths but not others? Epictetus once said, "Nature places us in certain relations. These determine our obligations." At first, this may sound abstract, but hidden within these words lies a deep Stoic truth, that our duties in life are not random. They are rooted in the natural order itself. In a world obsessed with freedom, freedom to choose, to pursue, to abandon, the Stoics remind us that true freedom begins not by escaping duty, but by understanding it. We are not isolated fragments floating through chaos. We are threads in a vast tapestry woven by nature. Each thread has its role, its tension, its meaning. Our parents, our friends, our society, even the strangers we pass on the street, all form part of a delicate network of relationships that define who we are. And from those relationships arise our obligations, not as burdens, but as sacred invitations to live in harmony with the greater whole. So tonight, let us walk together through the Stoic view of duty, not as a cold moral rule, but as a living art, the art of knowing where we belong, what we owe, and how to act in accordance with the nature that gave us life. 2. The web of relationships. When Epictetus spoke of relations, he was not merely referring to family or friends. He was pointing toward the entire web of existence, a network that begins with the self and expands infinitely outward. To be born human is to be bound by ties to the earth that sustains us, to the body we inhabit, to the minds we influence, and to the duties that emerge from these bonds. You are a child. Therefore, you owe respect to your parents. You are a citizen. Therefore, you owe care to your community. You are a human being. Therefore, you owe compassion to all mankind. Each of these relationships carries its own rhythm, its own law, and the Stoic path lies in understanding them deeply, not resisting them, not trying to escape, but fulfilling them with grace. Marcus Aurelius once wrote in his Meditations, "What injures the hive injures the bee. To forget your relations is to wound yourself, because the self only exists in relation. You are not apart from the world. You are part of it. Yet today, many people live as though they owe nothing to anyone. We isolate ourselves behind screens. We call independence a virtue, and we mistake detachment for strength." But the Stoic would ask, what kind of tree survives when it refuses the soil? When you accept your role within the natural order, something shifts quietly inside you. You stop asking, "Why must I do this?" and begin to ask, "How can I serve well in this moment?" That is where peace begins, not in escaping duties, but in embracing them with wisdom. For nature, in her quiet intelligence, has already placed you exactly where you are meant to be. 3. Duty as a form of freedom. It may sound paradoxical. How can duty, something that binds us, also be the path to freedom? Epictetus, once a slave, understood this more than anyone. He had no choice in his birth, his body, or his chains. Yet within those limits, he found absolute freedom. He realized that while he could not change his external relations, he could choose how to act within them. And that choice, the choice to fulfill one's duty with integrity, is what transforms obligation into liberation. The Stoics never saw duty as a cage. They saw it as a compass that points not to comfort, but to alignment with reason, the divine order of nature. When you act according to duty, you live in harmony with the universe. When you rebel against it, out of selfishness, pride, or ignorance, you create inner conflict, for you are resisting the very laws that sustain you. Think of the planets in their orbits. Each follows its natural path, not by force, but by the logic of the cosmos. If one planet decided to break free, to go its own way, chaos would follow. In the same way, when we reject our duties, we drift aimlessly, cut off from meaning. But when we act from a place of understanding, when we accept our roles as parents, citizens, friends, or simply as human beings, we rediscover the serenity that comes from alignment. This is the Stoic paradox. To obey nature is to be free. To ignore her order is to be enslaved by desire, by confusion, by the endless noise of the self. Fan 4, how to live according to our relations. Understanding duty is one thing. Living it is another. How then can we embody this Stoic wisdom in our daily lives? First, observe your relations carefully. Every morning, remind yourself, I am a child, a friend, a member of society, and a part of nature itself. Each role calls for certain actions: kindness, honesty, patience, and courage. Second, accept what is beyond your control in those relations. You cannot choose your family, or how others treat you, or even how long you will live. But you can choose to meet each situation with virtue. Third, act from reason, not reaction. When someone offends you, remember your relation to them as a fellow human, fallible, imperfect, yet worthy of understanding. When the world demands more of you, see it as nature calling you to fulfill your potential. Seneca once wrote, "We are members of one great body, planted by nature in a mutual love and society." When you remember this, resentment fades, gratitude grows, even difficult duties, caring for the sick, forgiving an enemy, working honestly, become sacred acts. Lastly, find peace in performing your role well, not in seeking applause. A Stoic does not act to be seen, but to be in harmony, like a musician playing his part in a grand orchestra. His joy lies not in the spotlight, but in the melody of unity. Your obligations are not punishments. They are reminders that you belong to something greater, timeless, and beautifully ordered. Fan 5. Ket luanat. The end of all Stoic teaching lies one quiet truth. You do not need to invent your purpose. You need only to recognize it. Nature has already written your role. Your task is not to escape it, but to play it beautifully. Epictetus reminds us, these relations determine our obligations, meaning life itself tells you what must be done. The parent must care, The friend must remain loyal. The thinker must seek truth, and the human must live with virtue. When you forget your place in the web of being, you feel lost. But when you remember, truly remember, that everything around you is part of a vast design, peace quietly returns. You stop resisting. You start flowing. And in that flow, duty no longer feels like a burden. It feels like love. The love of a tree for the soil, the river for the sea, the soul for the divine order that shaped it. So tonight, as you close your eyes, ask yourself, what relations has nature placed me in? And more importantly, how can I honor them tomorrow? That is the Stoic way, not a philosophy of detachment, but of deep connection with others, with the world, and with the quiet intelligence of the universe itself. Because when you live according to nature, every act becomes sacred, and every duty becomes a doorway to peace.